All right. All right. So we are the Bog Battalion, and we're advocates for bogs in the not in the Maryland area. And this is our submission for caring for our watersheds. We're located in Howard County in Mount View Middle School. There's actually now participants from sixth through eighth grade in our project, and of course Nathan, the 10th grader.
Our school lays on the border of the Patapsco River watershed and the Little Patuxent watershed, but we will be focusing on the upper Little Patuxent side of the school, so we will choose to focus on that watershed. There's also a lot of development occurring in Howard County, which contributes to a lot of runoff and other pollution in our watersheds.
So our issue we're choosing to focus on is bogs. A bog, to be defined, is simply one type of wetland, but they're much more than that. They're incredibly important to the environment and the ecosystems they carry as their ecosystems themselves. And they contain a lot of different species of fauna and flora, and they play a pivotal role in water filtration, but they're disappearing. There's been only 41% of Maryland's land is covered by natural habitat, and we're losing an average of 7,200 acres of habitat per year.
As stated by the National Geographic Society, bogs are ecologically very important because they absorb great amounts of precipitation. They also prevent flooding and absorb runoff. And even more importantly for the climate, bogs such as these are carbon sinks because of the large quantities of carbon dioxide that they can absorb and store. They're even better than trees at this.
All right, so previous action we've done is in 2024, we were awarded money to build a school terrarium in our GT research room. And overall, we plan on using the terrarium as a means of educating people bogs, creating awareness, and even possibly a desire to advocate for native bogs.
After we've used this terrarium at two separate school events and even a small instructional group, we've seen how interested people are and how, after seeing them, they wanted to connect more. The following slides are some projects by other students that have branched off after our initial broad restoration project.
So we have our orchids project, which some people do with the Smithsonian to research grass pink orchids. Here's the picture.
And a new group of students is researching the best growing environment for carnivorous plants. They're keeping track of these plants in our terrarium and even work with the local plant store.
All right, our goal is to build an even deeper sense of wonder about bog plants in Maryland and inspire students to speak out in order to protect and restore bog habitats. So when we thought of this idea, we wanted to see if anyone knew about the issues or knew about the importance of bogs. And it turns out not a lot of people did. It's a little data. And not many people knew what a bog was, how they impact the environment. But in later questions, we realized that people were interested in carnivorous plants and bogs and what they would do.
So we asked all of the people at our school what was one activity or thing they would like to do to learn about bogs, and we got a few answers. People answered field trips, carnivorous plants, planting, interactive digital learning, and outdoor lessons.
So strategies we developed based on these results is to raise awareness and interest, since not a lot of people know. And we also tried to implement something about bogs into the seventh grade ecosystems curriculum. They have a unit on ecosystems. And we also want to give students the chance to interact with the terrarium and to create a bog habitat in one of our outdoor gardens so students can also interact with that.
And now that we have figured out which plants survive best in our terrarium, we want to refresh the terrarium with those plants that work best. We're also adding orchids since we are participating in the Smithsonian Research Project.
So this is a project that will affect the whole school, and everyone who enrolls in environmental studies or environmental stewardship will be able to help with the project. And around 300 students are enrolled in the seventh grade, so they will also get that lesson.
And one of the ways we want to get this lesson across to students is a scratch game created by one of the members of the Bog Battalion.
Another way is a comedy sketch where actually me and Ashfont are acting, where we'll talk about the impact of balls to the environment and how we can help save them.
We also have another game that students will love called a Bog Trivia game, where students will answer questions and get a puzzle piece to piece together a big puzzle.
And our next steps is that we want to get new camera lenses in our budget so we can get better get better cameras for the people in photography and art classes, and also so we can take good photos of things in our outdoor bog habitat we plan or in our terrarium.
So for some of our tasks that we have coming up, on June 2026, we're presenting at our school's theme night. And this is going to involve Bog Battalion and many other members of our GT research community. In August, we're planning a long range playing with science, art, and photography teachers. This is going to involve the teachers and some of the ESC. In fall, we have the art and photography classes come and use the terrarium to take pictures. And in spring of 2027, the science classes are going to come here as part of their curriculum.
We chose this budget so we can get more carnivorous plants to fill our terrarium and also spark interest in the people and the seventh graders about bogs.
Bogs cover about 3% of the Earth's surface, yet hold over 30% of all soil carbon. Along with that mentioned, bogs also absorb more than 600 billion metric tons of carbon dioxide. They are one of the. This is why educating and advocating for bogs will work towards Goal 13.
It also works toward Goal 4, where our project includes an education aspect, and we want to educate people about the impact of bogs on the environment so they can also advocate and gain interest for the bogs and help keep our environment well.
This idea hasn't just been done in 1 year. This has been in the years of making. Ever since the student chairing this committee found out about this, we've been working so hard on this. And I wanted to say that this is a great way to raise awareness about carnivorous plants, and that every aspect of this budget has had research poured into it. We want the school to know about this project and become a pivotal part of Mount View culture.
The sources.
Here are some of our sources.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, fantastic. You can keep your slides up if you want to go back to something, or you can stop sharing, but I'm gonna let the judges share their questions and comments.
And I will apologize in advance because that bell will happen and they can sneak in a couple more minutes and then they'll have to
2:13.
Whatever they can do, they'll do.
Well, congratulations on putting together a great presentation. It's very clearly looking at different facets of this issue. You're going an engagement through the arts, through science, through peer work, through games, all sorts of creative ways. One clarifying question about your timeline and the August training or the August collaborative work that you're doing. Do you already have that confirmed that you'll be working with teachers, or is that a hope and you have to approach teachers still?
Yes, we have that confirmed.
That's awesome. So you already have a definite plan to meet and co-brainstorm. All right. So what's something that you hope to do with your teachers to make this project go further on that day?
We also want to add a bit more creative stuff, like we're already doing a sketch and a game, but in this seminar we're working to fully develop the sketch. And also before we leave school, since we're in 8th grade, we want to add a few more things to make the lessons a bit more interesting for 7th graders.
Thank you.
Awesome job, guys. I just had to ask, how is your school taking this information? Are they like excited talking about bogs? Are they interested in learning more? Just kind of wondering about that.
Our school is actually very excited about learning about bogs because when we got here in 6th grade, we learned that no one actually knew what these wonderful habitats were. But now more people are knowing about them. We actually had a ton of people participate in some of the games we had at our STEAM night last year. And to think that we have even more events now, I would think that would mean that even more people would love to participate in more activities. And I hope that we can grow the knowledge of our school.
Awesome. Awesome. It's a really, really cool project. So guys should be very proud of yourselves.
Thank you.
Yeah, good job, guys. Bog Battalion. So I really like the fact that this has to do with years of sustained passion, starting in 6th grade, and growing it all the way to 8th grade. Wow, that's fantastic. And secondly, this kind of was sparked a whole ecosystem of projects, other students branching off to do other stuff, and yeah, so I really like that. And also like the creative and multi-format education you guys are embedding into this project. It's very impressive. So 2 quick questions that came to my mind and I want to ask you guys. So you mentioned about doing a comedy sketch about bogs. So what made you choose that that kind of humor as a way to teach people? And also, how did people react when they saw it?
So we thought to do a comedy sketch for our first idea because comedy is always something that brings people together and it makes people laugh. And making people laugh and making them happy is one kind of way that we want to like affect the people at our school. So it would be more likely to get the information through to someone in a fun and entertaining way, rather than just giving them like some kind of boring, like fully informational video. But if we incorporated some like comedy aspects into it, I feel like the people at our school would receive it much better, and they would actually like grasp the knowledge that we're trying to get across.
Oh, that's a very impressive response. And lastly, I have one more question. So this project kind of started in the 6th grade, and it has kept growing as well. So I wanted to know what has been like the hardest part about, keeping this going over multiple years. And can you tell me at this your level, how did you guys stay motivated?
Well, when we entered the class, we didn't really know much. I didn't even know him that well since we're in 6th grade, but we wanted to do something about endangered animals. And us two and another friend who's currently not here, we brought together because of our common interest in that. And we researched Eastern mud salamanders, which are part of the bog habitat. And that just led us to this project. And Nathan, our leader, we got introduced to him by our G3 resource teacher, Miss Mako, and that's how we got into this whole thing.
All right, cool. Congratulations, guys, and good job.
Thank you.
You guys have to run
Yeah.
Thank you.
to it too. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you, dear.